Okay, going live. I'm waiting for it to show up at the moment. I'm just going to pop a message up telling everyone I'm on. A quick chat before we start doing actual mathematics. So let me just pop a message letting everyone know that we're up and running. Where is the message thing? It's on here. We've got one person on, brilliant. As always, can you sign in to the live chat? So Harley, brilliant. Before we start doing any maths, I want to talk to you guys for this. So I'm going to wait a couple of minutes, just get everyone in, and then we'll talk it out from there. If you haven't already done your register on the Microsoft Teams, the chat there, not the chat, the Teams area, please do that for me first. I'm just going to go and fetch the water. So sign in if you're on, sign in the live chat and sign in on the register. Remember, that's belt and braces to make sure that everyone gets registered, and everyone has been registered up to now. So that's one good thing. So let's just need my bottle of water. So it looks like we've got 4 people. So there should be 4 names in the chat box. We've got, well done, Ziza. Good job, good job. So when a few more people show up, we'll start talking to you about what we're going to do after Easter, and a few other bits and bobs, and then we'll do the mathematics. So this video might be a bit longer than normal, might go longer than half an hour. We'll see. So at the moment we've got 4 people. I'm looking for a few more than that, to be honest with you, if I want to start talking. Hope everyone's okay. We've got 4 lessons to Easter. Hey, Omo, good to see you. Good to see you. It's good to have you here. And for those 4 lessons, I don't anticipate doing anything too different. But after Easter is going to be a very different story. Are we ever coming back to school? I don't think this side of September, honestly. I do not think that we're likely to be back before this side of September. So when a few more people come in, I want to talk to you about that. Hey, Demetrius, good to see you. It's got 5 people at the moment. That's brilliant. So as I said, just waiting for fewer people to show up. Okie dokie. Let's see who we've got. We've now got up to 6, 7. That's good. We'll get up to about 12 or 13. I'll start talking on. Oh, up to 9. That's good. We've got Fazana. We've got Kausa. That's brilliant. Down to 5. If people dropped off, that's a bit worrying. I'm going to start talking soon. So we've got Samuel, brilliant, excellent, excellent news, excellent. We're up to 6. Tell you what, if we're not ready by say 5 past, which is a couple of 2-3 minutes away, I'll start. Anyways, everyone, brilliant. But really, because I want to talk to all of you, because I want to hear your opinions in the chat box. Actually, let's start the convo and let everyone drop in. Up to Easter, which is 4 lessons away, so Thursday, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, I kind of want to do the lessons like this. But after Easter, I want to do something a little bit more imaginative, because you can't do the same lesson every lesson until, you know, it's the summer. You guys will get bored. It won't be good. I'm going to start using Google Classroom a bit more, try some other stuff like that. You might have got an email from Dr. Frost, and I need you to sign in for that, because that's where your homeworks are going to live from now on. The sending pictures business, I was trying to mark them. It just takes forever. So we're going to try and change up our lessons after Easter. So until Easter, I'm going to beg your forgiveness, but I'm going to kind of stick with it like this. Why? Because I think it's a good way of finishing the topics. What do you sign in with? Your password is password, and your login is your email for Dr. Frost. Your password is literally the word password. All right? It should have full instructions on the email that you've been sent to. All right, I haven't set any homework yet. I'm actually going to set that tomorrow. We'll do that as part of the live stream tomorrow, no problem. But yeah, I'm just thinking, like, if we use Google Classroom after Easter, we can do things like Kahoots and do things that are a bit more, you know, not, here is the textbook, I'm going to show you how to do it, let's do questions, which I mean isn't bad in a ways, but you can't do it until like not September, until end of June. That would be horrible. You just get bored out of your mind. So what I'm going to say is be patient for the next 4 lessons until the end of next week. I will spend a lot of the Easter holiday kind of experimenting and learning new things. And then after Easter, the lessons will be more kind of dynamic and interactive. All right, so definitely going to work on that. So the message is for these four lessons, let's finish all the content. Yeah, let's finish all the content before Easter. And then after Easter, we'll start doing more challenging and more fun kind of lesson styles. All right, I hope that's a reasonable compromise for everyone. So I do feel like people are learning things. It's just taking a bit longer by the video. So what's the 2 things to take out of that? Until Easter, we're going to be teaching the same way. There'll always be a live stream to start off with. We'll discuss what we're doing, etc., etc., etc. After Easter, we're going to do some more kind of creative things online. Maybe use Microsoft Teams more than just a register. Definitely going to start using Google Classroom a lot more because I don't use Google Classroom at all. All right, so that's that. Okay, so what are we actually doing in terms of math today? What you'll need today is your applied book, as I mentioned in the live chat, and chapters 2 and 3. And what I need is you're constantly needing to be feeding back to me about things that you need, all right? Because a lot of this stuff is very, very simple. So chapter 2, which starts on page 21, so I'm just going to put that there, is incredibly simple. Chapter 2, sorry, the pen's just, it's damp, I think. Let me just change up my pen. It's got a lovely shade of pink. Let's see if it works. I'll rub it out. So chapter 2. What does this actually look at? Okay, that's better. Chapter 2, applied. So that's the applied book 1. That's a brown one, all right? And the first thing in there is mean, mode, and median, including mean, mode, and median from a table. Does anyone need that? Pop in the chat box if you need that. So mean, mode, and median from a table. All right. Any particular issues on that? Pop it in the chat box if you need it. Pop it in the chat box if you don't and you want me to skip it. I need to hear your kind of feedback on it so I know whether it's worth teaching or not. Yeah, skip it. Which book? It's applied. We're going to be doing applied pretty much until for the next 4 lessons till Easter. All right. And I think that's all we've got left. If anyone's got any, if anyone looks at the pure book at the next 4 lessons, thinks there's something that we've missed, drop me a message and we'll do it. It might be that we need to do circles possibly as well. So it might not be all applied, but definitely this lesson and the next lesson will both be applied. So you'll need your applied 1 book each time. All right. So we've got 1 opinion. So let's skip mean, mode, and median. What do other people think? I sort of agree, but that's not the end of the world, is it? Yep, thank you, Zeron. Absolutely. Skip. So I've got 2 people saying, but these are kind of, no disrespect, you're the kind of like knowledgeable kids. I mean, I know from people that were struggling. Fazana says skip. Rashida says, hello. Hey, Rashida, how are you? Demetrios says skip. Okay, fine. I think consensus is skip. Hey, Dante, good to see you. So, okay, we'll skip to a... I might set you questions out of 2B, but we're not going to do questions in 2B either. So mean, mode, and median from a table, the class has decided they can skip. All right? If that comes back to haunt us, I'll make a video on Thursday. All right? Because I'm going to set part of 2B as homework and not as a classwork. Okay, quartiles. Okay? Now, quartiles from data is weird. All right? Because it's slightly different to maybe what you're used to. Because there's 2 sets of data. There's 2 types of things you need to worry about. So let's first do about the discrete set. So discrete set of numbers. I want to pop the book in front of you so you can see what I'm talking about. In fact, no. I'm assuming that everyone should have the book in front of them, and I need you to have that for every lesson. So what I want you to do is turn to page 25, okay? And we're going to talk about, first of all, the difference between discrete and continuous, all right? And then we're going to talk about how this affects the quartiles and how to work out quartiles, all right? So if you turn to page 25, I'll give you a few seconds to do that. The heading is 2.2 of the measures of location. So page 25. in the applied book. All right? And it's talking about quartiles, percentiles, and things like that. So we need to go through that. And it says, use these rules to find the upper and lower quartiles for discrete data. So what would discrete data look like? It looks like data where you've got either just the numbers or there are in, so basically just the numbers. So if you look at example 4, that's the kind of quartiles you've been doing since literally year 7, year 8, all right? But the rules never really, I don't know if the teachers made them absolutely clear, and I want to make sure they do, because oftentimes I see students get this wrong. So suppose you want to find the lower quartile, all right? So the lower quartile, what is the rule? You divide however many numbers you've got by 4. So suppose you had 10 numbers, and you divide by 4, yeah? And you get, so let's say you get 2.5, all right? You round up, and that's going to be your upper quartile, yeah? Does that make sense? However, it would be equally true if I'd done 9/4. We're looking at the applied book. Can we make that absolutely clear then, Awesome? We're always going to be on the applied book for this lesson and next lesson, all right? If you check your messages, I made it clear we're running applied, all right? So it's all part of the lesson, just being prepared for the lesson by reading all of the messages, all right? So if you've got 9/4, for example, that's 2.25. That they both round up to 3, okay? So you can't see the whole board, but you can see what you, there's nothing else on the board that you need to see. I'll make that clear for you, sorry. Right. Just bear with me just a sec. It's the opposite way around, isn't it? Yes, there we go. Is that now better? I mean, yes, it's applied. We're doing quartiles. I mean, even if like you didn't read my message or didn't hear me repeat the word applied several times, the fact we're doing I'm sorry, I hope that didn't get caught in. Yes, my dude, we mean statistics. What were you thinking? It's quartiles. It's not going to be. Why does it round up? Convention. Okay, that's the way we do it. To be fair, a lot of times with statistics, it's very much you've got to make a decision and stick to it just to be consistent all the way through. So that's the way, that's literally just the way we do it. To be confusing, when I show you continuous, we don't do this. And this is the point I'm trying to make. When you've just got a set of numbers, this is what you're meant to do. So you do n/4, which you'd have guessed, right? That makes sense, right? If it turns out to be a decimal of some sort, you are expected to round up, all right? And that's the rule for it. But suppose it doesn't. Suppose it doesn't. Even if it's less than 0.5, be clear on that, right? Even if it's less than 0.5, you are rounding up, yeah? Suppose it doesn't. Suppose it does 12/3, for example. Suppose it was 12 pieces of data, sorry, over 4 rather. 12/4, that looks like R/4, I do apologize. 12/4 is 3, yeah? So do I pick the third number? Yes, always round up. Be clear on that, Dante. Always round up. Do I just pick 3 if it's something that doesn't need rounding? And the answer is no. The answer is given being halfway between the third number and the fourth number. All right. So those are the rules for quartiles. Yeah. You divide however many you've got by 4. If it's a decimal, round up and pick that number. So if it was 5.7, round up and pick the 6th number. But suppose it was a whole number. You just don't pick that. No, you don't. What you do is you pick that number, you pick the number above it, and you pick, basically you calculate the mean of those two numbers. So let's do a quick example. We have example 4 in front of us. We see that, for example, they are asking you for the... So what have they got? They've got... Bear with me just a second. It's interesting the way they do it. It's quite... Yeah, just to be clear, I'm just interested in the way they've done it. Because like the example they give is totally contradictory to what they've done in the book, but we're still going to follow. We know what the method is. That's countable. It doesn't really matter. 5.5 for value. Yeah, no, it's not. It's not. It works. That's perfectly fine. So yeah, that works as this. So we're all reasonably happy with quartiles. Yeah. So what I want you to do is take an example, because I think we need to do one realistically. I'm going to ask you to do for me question 1 only. All right. I was just looking through the example to see if it contradicted anything I said, and it doesn't. Remember, this is just for quartiles. Upper quartiles will behave the same way. Let's rub this out. Upper quartiles behave the same way, but instead of just dividing by a quarter, you times by 3. And yes, it is. It's just the middle. If it's the median, that's what I was looking at. Well done. Good spot, Dante. The median doesn't behave like that. You just do the median as you think you do. It's either the middle number or the middle 2 numbers divided by 2. So the way you learn at secondary school. So for 3/4, upper quartile, you times by 3 and then divide by 4. But the same rounding rules apply. So if you have a decimal, round up. If you have an exact number, that one and the next. Let me just check that's true, but I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, same thing. Yeah. So if it's a whole number, yeah, you pick that whole number and the one above it and do the mean. If it's a decimal number, you always round up. Okay. The only one that seems different, so quartiles behave like that, but the median behaves as you expect it to. Pop a comment in the. So if it was 3, what? If what was 3? I'm totally baffled by that question. You need to put a lot more kind of words into that question to make it make sense. For everyone else, though, 2C question 1. Can I ask you to try 2C question 1 for me? Remember that the median behaves as it should do, and the lower quartiles behave the way I've just taught you they behave. Okay? Is that making sense? And I want you to try that for me and pop your answers in the answer box. No, that's not good enough. You need to give a full structured question in the chat, because I have no clue what the hell you're talking about here. Suppose we had 12/4, yeah? That gives you 3. You pick the 3rd number and the 4th number and do the mean of them, yeah? The answer is not 3.5. It is what is the 3rd number, what is the 4th number, divided by 2, all right? I hope that makes sense. And for the median behaves sensibly. The median is either your middle number if you've got one, or if you've got 2 middle numbers, you add those 2 numbers and divide by 2, the way you learn at secondary school. The rules I've taught you just now, do we need to arrange the numbers to find the median? On question 1, yes, you do. All right? So it works the same way. Look, the median is unchanged from what you learned at secondary school. All right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you about 5 minutes. Obviously, I'm staying on the whole time because I want to get past 2C. I want you to do question 1 for me, then I'm going to show you how to do question 2. These are 3 question marks tell me nothing of any value, right? We've got to get better at using the live chat, right? I was even like trying to get more out of Dante, and he wrote me 4 lines. You write 3 question marks. How am I benefiting from that? How do I know anything? I can say, I'm confused. Can you tell me what to do? Yeah, that makes sense. 3 question marks, worthless. It tells me nothing other than you've got a problem. So let's all get that use of the chat box. And also, some of you never use the chat box. I mean, are you the only one crushed? This makes no sense either. You need to tell me what you're confused by, right? Be effective in your questioning, because it's not the case where I can just go, yeah, that's a problem, right? So, Demetrios, you have a problem. Tell me what the problem is. All right? And then I can help you. So you're looking hopefully at 2C question 1. If it's, I cannot do 2C question 1 because I do not know how to do this, then type that in the box. Don't be lazy. If the question is, I can do 2C question 1A, but I can't do B, then that's a useful thing you tell me, right? But I'm waiting on you to put something in that chat box that helps me understand what you don't understand, all right? Because that's big time important in terms of your learning. So exercise 2C question A is what? Number 1. So question 1, sorry. So 2C question 1 on page 27. And you need to be asking questions if you can't do this, all right? Put a message up. I don't understand this thing about the maths you're trying to teach. Please explain. So A is 1020. You want me to check that for you? I'll be happy to. Just bear with me 1 second. I'm going to do just that. Yes, well done. Good job. Good job. Well done, Demetrius. Now you try part B, the lower and upper quartiles, and remember to exercise the rules that I've just. No, maybe that's not the problem. I want to help you, right? I want you to try the methods that I've shown you now. That thing where if it's the number, you pick that number and the one higher and work out the median of those. And if it's the rounding one, you always round up. Even if it was 10.1, you'd round up and pick the 11th number. All right. I'm still waiting on you, Ziza, to ask me a question I can actually answer. As in, tell me something you don't know, and I'll show you. Is question 2 always IQR? Don't even think about trying to put a pattern on these yet, because really these are what you'll get. Your exam will be in the second year, right? This might be 1 mark, and then the next thing might be PMCC correlations you haven't even studied yet. So there's no always. You didn't get 1020. Okay, did you put the numbers in order? Question 2. What? Okay, cool. What were your 2 middle numbers? Because what you would have done there is go, well, there's 2 middle numbers, 8 and 9. Yeah? So what's your 8th and 9th number? Tell me. Because it's an even number of numbers, and median doesn't change. It doesn't work like the lower quartile. So 1017 and 1018. Let's figure this one out. So you got 1,000. What's your smallest? Right, I'm going to do this. Let's see if we agree. All right. I only need to do the first. So the first smallest number I can see there is 1,009. So 1,009. And then the next one I can see is 1,014. No, 1,013. 1,013, 1,014. That's 3. Then the next one after that is what? 1,017, lots of them, 2 of them. 1,017, 1,017. Is there 3 of them? Yeah, I see that. 1,017, that's 6. Then you got 1,018, 1,018. How many 1,018s have you got? Just the one? I feel like you had more than that. 1,018. Then you have a 1,019, which is your 8th number. So that's 1 of them. And what's the next one after that? Must be 1,021, I'm guessing. Yeah, 1,021. And the mean of those 2 numbers, 19 and 21, is 2020. Sorry, not 2020, 1020. 2020 was that year. So I hope that makes sense to you. I put the numbers in order. You remember for median, if you've got an even number, you pick the 2 middle numbers that are in the list, and the 2 middle numbers are, yeah, no problem, 1,019, 1,021. It shows that something very, very simple, which of course, if I said that to you in year 8, if I knew you in year 8, you'd have smashed that. You just haven't done it since forever. See, are you happy with that now? Excellent, excellent. Remember the lower quartile and the upper quartile, the moral of the story does not behave like the median. It behaves like the rules I've taught you. 1,028. Is there a faster way to find the median? Putting them order and everything in time between. I don't think you'd be asked it in the exam, to be honest with you. It's just so trivial. Yeah? I mean, it's just, I wouldn't worry about it. Just think about it. It was like Throwback Wednesday. Should have been Thursday, really, but you know, it's a thing that you'd used to do when you were in secondary school. If you had to do it, you could do it. It's probably not going to get asked. All right. So, I'm going to give you maybe another 2 to 3 minutes to do the lower and the upper quartiles. Yeah, don't worry. Do the lower and the upper quartiles for me. Check that we got those right. I'm going to show you how to do question 2. I'm going to teach a teensy bit more. Q1, Q2, and Q3. Are you talking about question 2? Yeah, okay, fine. Q2 is just the median, and Q1 and Q3 I haven't taught you yet. You know 1 and 3. Q2 is just the median. Just be clear, yeah? Because like linear interpolation, which I'm going to teach you next, how do we do the quartiles? I mean, sometimes my mind boggles. Do you not realize that's what I've been teaching for the last 15 minutes? Okay, I'm going to help you anyways, but I do need you to pay attention when I'm teaching, right? A median and interquartile can be different. Of course they are. The median is your, like, it's the supposed to be the middle number, isn't it? Well, it is. The interquartile range is the difference between the upper quartile and the lower quartile. One's a range, is how spread out you are. One's telling you what's in the middle. Let's deal with Mawson's problem first, all right? I'm going to do lower, you're going to do the upper. So let's do the lower quartile first of all. So you've got 16 numbers, right? You see that, right? And you're going to do 16 divided by 4, and that's 4. All right? Then the rule says, if you've got an even number, and you can check your textbook for this, the rules were given during the course of this video, but if you've kind of lost them or forgotten them or whatever, they're on page 25. And if you're not taking notes when I'm speaking, take notes, right? It is the fourth and the fifth number that we're going to care about. Why? Because the rule says, if you've got a whole number, when you do your, how many numbers have I got divided by 4, then you pick that number and the one above it, and then you do the mean of it. So the fourth number and the fifth number, yeah? Add those up together and divide by 2. So it's good here, it's going to be 1,017. I'm just going to check that I've got that right. If I haven't, we're going to be pretty surprised, both of us, I think. Yes, I'm right. So just recap the method. You divide however many numbers you've got by 4 for the lower quartile. Pick that number, the fourth, pick the number above it, the fifth, and do the mean of those. And it will be the same thing when you do it for the upper quartile, but instead of just dividing by 4, you're going to divide by 4 and times by 3. All right? So I hope that makes sense. Lower quartile and upper quartile for what? What are you playing at? So let me make this very, very clear. You pick the fourth and fifth number and work out the mean of the fourth and fifth number, not the mean of 4 and 5. Yeah? That's right. Why would you do fourth if there's an even number of values? Because again, I've said this to you once and I'll say it again. These are the ways we have defined quartiles. All right? That would work. Yeah, that's fine. All right, just be clear on that. Yeah, fine, fine. In that case, first one will be 1,017. It will work out the same way. 1,017, brilliant. Well done, Fazana. You've got it right, okay? But like when they give your answer, you wouldn't put 4.5, would you? You'd put 1,017, right? Brilliant. 1,017, good job. Let's see how the upper quartile comes out. So just be careful what you write. Because you've written 4.5, you'd have dropped marks. And that's what I'm worried about. I don't want you dropping marks for nothing. For Q5, Q5 doesn't exist. That'd be 25% above Q4, which is your highest possible number. 1,024.5, I'll just check that. Oh, Q3, that doesn't make sense. Now, I'm just like, be careful of that, because you'd be 25, as I said, Q5 would be another quartile on top of your largest number, which obviously makes no sense in this context. Yep, 124.5, beautiful. Looks like we are making progress. I need people to pop in the chat box in the next minute if they don't understand this, because I need to teach you one more thing before I go, and it's a big one, all right? So we may end up going 45 minutes today on this, and that's fine, because that is what it is. You guys got 40 seconds to complain, all right? If you don't feel like you can do these kind of questions, let me know. How do you find the 4.5 number? This is again going back to what I was criticizing you for in the first place. I don't think of it as a 4.5 number. I think it's a fourth number and a fifth number. I work out what they are and divide by 2. But it's the same thing. Get the two numbers that are fourth and the fifth and add them together and divide by 2. All right? Shouldn't be too difficult. So here we've got 1,017. We've got 1,017 as your fourth and fifth number. Add them together, divide by 2. Hopefully that makes sense. Anyone else got any questions before I move on? I know I've gone over like 30 minutes, but that's fine. Could you quickly go through method and upper lower quads of live? Just crash me. Fair shout. I'm going to do it off the numbers we've got here. Just assume that I've written all 16 numbers, all right? 125.5? Is that right? I think it was 123.5. Let me just check. In fact, I might just write this one out. Never mind. If this is what it takes, this is what it takes. You're looking at 124.5. You made a mistake there, Ziza. 124, 1024, do you say? 1024.5. I'm going to do the upper quartile for Harley as well, so that will benefit him. I'm just going to finish off this list now, which means I'm going to have to move the camera down a bit. So, 1021. How many more numbers have we got after 1021? We've got 1022, I think. Yep, we definitely have a 1022. We've got a... You guys are all wrong, so you can just hold on a minute, all right? You got 1023. You got 1024 twice. I mean, this is alarmingly sloppy, my dudes. 8, 12. Loads of 1024s. 1025 is there. So I'll move it so you can see the whole thing in just a moment. Yeah, actually a little bit better. So 1025, 1027. So I'll make that a little bit clearer. So 1025, 1027, 1029. Is there anything else? I'm trying to see if there's anything else. 10, let me just count them. That's probably fastest way of doing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There should be one missing. You got 1031 as well. Cool. Got it. All right. Hope that makes sense to everyone. All right. So I've got the full list here. All right. Cool. So that's your list of numbers. We only need 13 numbers. Yes, that's true, but I thought I may as well write them all out. You're quite right. You only need 13 numbers. So what do you need? Well, we'll check if you need 13 numbers or not. 3/4 of 16 is 12. Okay, so we're going to look for the 12th and 13th numbers. So first of all, let's congratulate Dante. He understands, right? So let's find that number. 4th, 8th, 12th. That's 12, and that's 13. So your 12th number is 1024. And we've chosen that because we did 3/4 of 16 and got 12. And then your 13th number is 1025. And that's all over 4. No, it's not. It's just all over 2, sorry. We've already done the 3/4 bit, yeah? So you work out which number you're going to get. 3/4 of 16 is 12. You pick the 12th and the 13th number, and then you just do the mean of those. So that's 1024.5, yeah? So 1024.5 is your final answer. 1024.5. This is a list of numbers. You can see it's 1024.5, all right? Anyone now confused? So what you do is you look at the method, and the method says divide through by 4 and times by 3 because it's an upper quartile. This time you got a whole number. So you don't need to worry about rounding. You just pick that number and the number above it. So here we found 12, so we pick the 12th and the 13th number. We get those numbers, we work out the mean of them. Simple as that, all right? And I'm actually going to abandon for today the thought of interpolation. Yeah, you got it, brilliant, okay? Actually, no, I'm not. I sort of want to still do interpolation. I'm looking at the time, half an hour. I don't want to split the live stream into 2. This is the thing. So let's... But interpolation is a big chunk after this. Okay, we're going to do that. Here's what we're going to do. At 10 o'clock, I'm going to live stream for a second time. All right? In the intervening time, I want you to do question 1, question 2. No, don't do question 1. Just question 2. And what else can you do? Just try to find another one like it. Can't use interpolation. Question 4. Okay, so 2 and 4. All right. So I only want you to do 2 and 4. I'll be back at 10 o'clock with a second live stream. All right. And I'll show you how to do linear interpolation. All right. So I hope that's not too bad for everyone. I'll be back in 27 minutes. All right. End this stream. Question 2 and question 4, just to be clear. Exercise is 2C. All right. I'm going to write that down so it's on the video as well. So 2C, question 2, question 4. Okay. And I'll be back at 10.